Hey guys. So, I want to have an honest conversation about medical prescriptions and drugs for depression, post-traumatic stress, bipolar, all that good jazz, if you will. It's not like it has been brought to my attention. This is something that is near and dear to my heart for folks battling post-traumatic stress. I have two friends buried that overdosed on narcotics that were given to them by doctors, from one from the VA clinic and the other from his standard doctor. As someone who has addictions and is a recovering addict, and someone who has, what folks would call mental disorders or what have you, I don't care. The first thing that usually happens is you get your diagnosis, and then I never walked out of any facility, whether it was the first time I got out and went to the VA or my standard doctor, without some sort of drug. I don't want to get too political here, but if you don't think that drugs are a business, you're wildly out of your mind. It's a major business. That's big medical. That's the way it goes. What is not being offered or pushed hard enough is professional help, therapy, things like that. Now, that's a double-edged sword, and here's the reason why. In my opinion, this is all just my opinion. Okay, take it for someone who's been there multiple times. Folks that live in that world, that professional combat world, that professional stressed out world, first responders or, surgeons or whoever has to see the real trauma every day. I used to have a commander who was a flight nurse, and I thought he was nuts because he would just talk about all the craziness he saw every single day. That would have drove me mad. But he's just a strong-minded individual, that's for sure. But those folks, tough guys and gals, if you will, who have seen some very rough stuff in their time, have a few issues with sitting down with people. It makes them nervous to express their issues. That's not something you do in the military. That's not something you do in the workforce. You don't go off and say, "Hey man, I'm feeling pretty rough and I need some help," because that would make them feel, and that's not for everyone, but that would make them feel a bit vulnerable. Someone might say, "Man, this guy or gal, they're just turning into a wuss, man. They just can't hack it anymore," or whatever. And a lot of people judge them for it. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot do. So they would prefer the quick fix. The quick fix is something that's going to alter your state of mind. Pretty simple. Go to that rear cortex or whatever the heck it's called and make your brain kind of a blur. You're feeling pretty good about yourself. But what is that? That's a drug, right? Drugs become an addiction, and then you start living off of your addiction. It was the same for my two friends. The need to have it. And it didn't stop. And a lot of the time, it's not something out in the open, but the scripts just keep on coming. And then before you know it, you lose two of the greatest guys in the world. But it's an epidemic, and we're losing folks over it all the time. What I would say to my veteran community, to first responders, to those, explore an alternate opportunity. if the first thing they reach for is, well, we're going to prescribe you with this, first of all, do your research on the drug. Okay? Do your research on the drug. Because I'm not saying all drugs are bad. You know, there's drugs that help folks. But how many, and this goes back to the veteran community, I can tell you firsthand, not one of us took the prescribed amount of whatever drug they gave us. The normal population takes 2. Well, I'm not normal, you know. I snort gunpowder and drink gasoline and run through fire at night. So I'm going to take 6. You know, maybe another day or maybe if I ever finish my book, it'll be in there about the wild things that happen, you know, to numb the pain. But look for that alternate avenue of betterment. Instead of just taking the drugs and the quick fix, try to work for that therapy. I've been against therapy since the beginning of time because to me it showed weakness. Number 2, I didn't want to talk to anybody that hadn't been through what I've been through. I get it. You're a doctor or you got a master's degree or, you know, you're a professional. But if the first thing I ask you is, well, were you in the military? Have you been through any of this? No, but I've done a lot of research. It doesn't work for me, guy. That's the mindset. It doesn't work for me. Get someone in here that knows what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's kind of like addicts have a better chance of helping addicts. That's why they do groups. I'm not saying they're not trying to help. Those professionals are out trying to help. But we have to break that cycle. Not everybody can be a veteran or a first responder or been in a gunfight or saved people's lives or been hit by a bus. I don't know. Not everybody's lived through what you've lived through, but that's what we want. So it's going to take the community. And that is the biggest part about our group. For us to be able to say to that individual, because I wish they would have been there for me, said, hey, buddy, give it a try. Trust me. I know they're not a veteran. I know whatever. Listen to what they have to say and go from there. And we can talk about it. And if you're working with your first responder or veteran group or just people that care, you know, that we can work that stuff out. It's just hard for us to talk apples and oranges. It's so hard for military members to go in and talk to civilians and take them serious. I know that might sound stupid to you guys, but it's 100% the truth. I get calls, and I am not the most sane person in the world, but I get calls, said, you know, Creeb or Mitch or Fatneck or whatever I used to be, you know, I can't deal with these people. They don't know what I'm talking about. They don't understand my lingo. Well, that's okay, man, because we understand your lingo. Just keep talking to them. Because we can't afford to lose you. And we've got to get off this kick of what is going to numb the pain? What is going to put the shame behind us? We got to get over that. And the reason why is because we're going to keep revisiting it. It's a short fix. It's not going to get us where we need to be. And the more we talk to each other, and the more we come together as a whole and say, hey man, we can get through this. It's a step process. It's going to take a long time because some of these wounds will never heal. I hate to be the Debbie Downer. They won't heal, but we'll find a way to adapt with them. They're always going to be there. But how can we live with them? We can do that by being a strong community and backing each other up. It's kind of a heartfelt message tonight. And I'm going to have another one later because I want to talk about our awesome music video that's coming out soon. Okay, but be open and honest. Get your veteran, first responder, or folks with post-traumatic stress being diagnosed or just having a tough time. Reach out to them. It's okay to be open. It's going to take a long time. But if you get those like-minded people in there, especially when it comes to veterans and first responders, they're brothers and sisters that can say, hey man, it's okay. I've been there and we can get through this together. Because remember, and I'll finish with this because I could go all night about this subject. We segregate ourselves. My best friends in the world are veterans. Ask me how often I talk to them. Never. And it has to do with us feeling weak. We don't want to disappoint our friends, even though we're all sick, and we all can acknowledge that. I'm not saying everyone's sick, okay? Don't put words in my mouth. What I'm saying is there's a lot of folks that are putting up with trauma, feeling that they have a place in this world. How come I'm not appreciated? I gave everything I had. But we're going to get through this together. I hope this message doesn't offend anybody, but I really hope it helps somebody. Reach out. Reach out to me. Reach out to the group. I'm hoping we're gonna get some sponsors. We're gonna get that call center together. That is a goal of mine, because I want you, if you're a veteran, to be able to talk to another veteran, and we can get you some professional help. But at the same time, we can help guide you along. I love you guys so much. This is near and dear to my heart. You guys are amazing, and we just got to keep helping. We got to keep changing. We got to keep doing the right thing. So don't be afraid. Come forward. Deeds, not words. Have a good night. Good night. It's time to get a workout on. Talk to you later.